Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, sitting here in my house, standing in for nobody, sitting just for me. And you are watching another exciting edition, show 37 or 38 or some such show since the lockdown. Yes, we've been doing this every night at 8 o'clock UK time, British summertime if you will, and it has been great fun so far. Repeats of everything I've ever said before comes gaping out of my gob, and people don't seem to remember, which is very handy, because they keep coming back for more, which is lovely. Anyway, it is the 23rd of April. It is St. George's Day. St. George, of course, who wasn't English, but we've taken him as our patron saint, and we've made him good. Yes, let's all celebrate St. George tonight with a pint of St. George's orange stuff. God knows where it came from, but let's hope it tastes all right. Yes, tastes delish. Marvellous. In the post today, we have special... boop, 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 boop. If you can't read that properly, let me just do it like that. It says, strong white flour. That came in the post from the lovely Gabriel. If you see Gabriel, do say to him, thank you very much, Gabriel. It was very nice of you. Let's find out who is out there in the Vobosphere. We have a number of people out there. Some new names, which is marvellous. We have, hang on a minute, I did say hello to, gone already. Lara Noel, is it? Lara Noel, hello to you. Connor's Dark Corner, lovely Julia is out there. Hello, lovely Julia. David Sargent, hello, David. Alan Braid, nice to... Alan Braid? Who's Alan Braid? Who's typing this stuff? Would you mind getting it right? Sorry about that. It's Alex Braid. Alex Braid, hello to you. Rami Boo is there. Kevin's Rambles. Jeff Kellison, who tells us that Stacey has given him the day off. Oh, no, what a mistake. What mischief has he got up to today? Hopefully he will let us know. Beachwriter8 says, can't seem to coordinate when the show is on last couple of days. It goes on at 8 p.m. every night in the evening here in the UK, British summertime, 1 hour ahead. What do we do? Spring forward, 1 hour ahead of GMT. And it's been like that every day. I don't shift it around. It doesn't move. I do another show in the morning at 7:30. And I know YouTube says, it's not on for 7 hours. But that's a lie. And other people apparently have had the same problem. I can't work out how to fix that. So we're lumbered with it. If it says 7 hours, just take away 7 hours. Okay? So there we go. Barry Stevens, hello to you, Barry. He says, hi, guess what? Andrew Norris is famous. Look on his channel. Congratulations to him. What has he done? Tell us. I can't go and look on it. Otherwise, it'll be very boring. I'll be sitting there going, Andrew Norris, what have you done? Do tell us. Share the love. That's what I say. Kevin's Rambles says, Stacey is a good girl, Jeff. She certainly is. And at home with Mindy. Hello, at home with Mindy. Mindy, is that the same Mindy who rang the other day? Hello, Mindy. Let's hope it is. And Jeff Kellison says, yes, she puts up with me. She must do. She's also drinking out of a Bald Explorer mug. So it can't be bad. I believe the pair of you are drinking out of Bald Explorer mugs, which is fantastic. Mr. Connell, even. Hello from Manchester, he says, which is great. Days of yore, a load of clap. Yes, that's it. Big load of clap. That's what you get from here. Ed Loud is doing the theme tune, which is marvellous. Always nice to hear that. Dang, it's Thursday. Clap. Oh, yes, are we supposed to have gone out clapping? I completely forgot about that. Oh, blimey. Yeah, well, whatever. It starts becoming a bit of virtue signalling in the end. I don't know whether people are going to agree with me. Beachwriter says, I'm ignoring the 7-hour message. There we are. When it gets right, of course, it will all be up the chute. Just been clapping for the carers, says Mike Dixon. Well done. Can you take it on my behalf that you've been doing that? Because I completely forgot. To be honest, with the lockdown, it's sort of days are just moulding into one. You never quite know. There's no structure anymore to the week. Are you finding that? There's no structure to the week? Andrew Norris, what ho, Vobesters? Andrew Norris, apparently you're internationally famous. So somebody just said, Barry said, tell us, what is it that you've done? What is it? He said, go to your site. And I don't know which site to go to. I don't know where to look. Plus the fact I can't leave the show because I'm in the middle of doing the show. If I go and look, it'll be all chaos. So do tell us what has happened and why are you internationally famous and a superstar? The chances of anything coming from Mars is Andrew Norris, and he's here, and it's marvellous. Barry Stevens says he's appeared in Croatian TV about his art. My goodness, that sounds great. Croatian TV, that is something to aspire to, for sure. For sure. At home with Mindy. Yes, it's me, she says. It's me from last night. Oh, so lovely to see you there, typing away. Hi, Ernie, says Andrew Norris. Greetings from Surrey, says Richard Upton. Hello, Richard Upton. Nice to see you. What have you been up to today? Have you been up to anything very exciting? Or, like the rest of us, twiddling our thumbs and just trying to get through another day until the Vobes show starts, when all fun and games go straight out of the window. Yes. Thanks, Barry, for the plug. Linda Kane says, I'm here now. The clapping always makes me a bit teary. Does it? To be honest, I have to say I completely forgot, Linda, about the clapping. I do apologise for that. I wonder how long we're going to keep that going for. And at what point, I think we should stop. And I don't mean this in a mean way. But when it's like when something goes on too long and then just fewer and fewer people do something and then it becomes a bit tawdry and a bit embarrassing and it's like, because is there an official stop to this clapping or do we just do it until lockdown has lifted? I don't know. I'm only putting these thoughts out. Don't kill the messenger. All right, put your guns down. Steady on, steady on. Here's a question. Where's Boris? What's happened to Boris? We did have a Prime Minister, and I know he went to hospital about 6 years ago, or something like that, and he's had corona flu, or Croatian flu, or whatever it's called these days. And but where is he? What's that? He can't still be recovering. I mean, he's supposed to be leading. I mean, Winston Churchill wouldn't be doing that. Winston Churchill would be there with his cigar and his whiskey, and he would be out there doing his stuff, no matter what. So I don't understand where Boris is. I'm surprised we haven't had an appearance from him. I'm actually quite disappointed that we haven't had an appearance from him. I ought to just ring him up. Hang on. Anyone got Boris's number? Let's give him a call. Hello, Boris? Yeah, what are you playing at, sitting in bed all day long? What? You're watching you're watching the Vobes show. Oh, I see. Poof. Well, that's all right. But aren't you supposed to be running the country? Yes, I know you're in your pyjamas, but that's all right. You can just put your head above the parapet from time to time, just to show willing. I would, for goodness sake. Has anyone actually seen Boris? I mean, I get the impression he's just disappeared. He's been zapped by aliens. So now, and the other thing I want to ask is, did you notice, I don't know if anybody listened to today's briefing from the government, and I didn't hear yesterday's, but if anybody heard today's briefing from the government, did you notice, I don't know whether they did. I mean, I wasn't overly paying that much attention, but it's dawned on me afterwards. Nobody said in that, they said, oh yeah, we've got to keep going, we've got to keep all this, and the death rate's this, and the death rate's that, and we're doing these measures and these measures. But and they said, oh, we've got to keep the social distancing and all this sort of stuff. But they didn't say, stay home, save lives, and save the NHS, or whatever it is. Protect the NHS. He didn't actually say we've all got to stay home. Now, they've said this every day. What they did say is that you've got to keep going. We've got to keep going, and we've got to keep up with the social distancing. And my reading of this is there is a very subtle move of this lockdown not being quite lockdown. Because they've never used the actual term lockdown, have they? They've just said you've got to stay at home and all of this. But I don't think they're going to be promoting the stay-at-home message quite as severely as it is. I know that the committee, the 1922 committee have said the government have got to do something in at least a couple of weeks, remove the lockdown or let people go back to work and get the kids back to school. And I don't think that the government are going to promote the stay at home. They're going to assume the message has sunk in. And they're talking about social distancing, totally agree with all of that. But I think there's just a subtle shift. You see if I'm not right. I may be wrong. I usually am wrong. Let's hope I am, let's hope I'm right and wrong in, whatever. So that would be it. Daniel Harris is going, oh dear, LOL. I'm not quite. What's the matter with you? Oh dear. 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 In capital letters as well, Danny Harris. Turn your capitals off, please. The last time I saw Boris on TV, he needs to comb his hair. Ah, yes. Well, that could have been years ago, to be honest with you. Happy St. George's Day, says Mike Stevens. Happy St. George's Day. We're in Sussex. Blimey. You lot finished the clapping early. Yeah, we just go. There you go. Yep. Thanks very much. Thank you. No mucking about today, I'm afraid. Linda Kane says, I think some people, include me, got fed up with the rote of it. Yes, some people got, they're fed up with the rote of it. I mean, it does go on, stay inside, do this, do that, do the other. But they've been doing it for so long, it just seemed a sort of an obvious but subtle shift in their stance. And I'm just curious because it does seem that's how this government works, with the get Brexit done message and then this message. And when they stop saying it, you think, they're not thinking it. Andrew Norris says, well done, Mike, for reminding us. Happy St. George. We did actually say that at the beginning of the show, to be honest with you. To be fair, I actually brought it up, Just saying, I just want to get my cards on the table that I did know it was St. George's Day, and I did bring it up. All right, just you check it, check the feedback. Yeah. Not only did I say that, I did say to Gabriel a big thank you because this arrived today in the post. This is a bag of strong white flour. Now that's not to say anything about the lovely flour that came from Morrison's, from Dawn and John, which I have been baking with today, and the results are in the kitchen. I meant to bring them in. I'll bring them in a bit later, and I've already had a sample. Slightly better than last time, in a different tin, different shape, but the bread is coming to be displayed to you. Haven't yet done Linda's scones. That's on the way. Turbo Stream says a few stores. Yes, I heard that some of the Burger Kings and things are starting to reopen and that people are going to them. Is that true? Some of the bigger outlets are opening. We've not had an official thing from the government yet, but some of these are sort of teasing themselves open. Connor's Dark Corner says, I saw 2 men fishing today. 2 men, sounds fishy to me. 2 men fishing. Aye, lad, we're going out there to get our own fish. Ed Loud says, strong flour will make your bread more fluffy. Aye, fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. I hope it does. I do hope it does. And Claire Leach says, I think this clapping is slightly pointless, as it means nothing if nurses, etc., don't get a pay rise. And I do tend to agree with you. I think we're done with the virtual signaling now. Ever since I saw the clips of people outside the hospitals and on Westminster Bridge clapping with the police and Cassandra, what's that weird, Cassandra Dick, the chief of Cassidria, what's her name? Because it's such a bizarre. Whoever gives their child that kind of Cressida. Whoever gives your child that name, what do they call it? I baptize this child Cressida Dick. Someone's got to be it, I suppose. Water Cressida Dick. Yes. Anyway, she was there apparently, and on these bridges and outside these churches, all these people were crammed together. I mentioned this last week, clapping away, clap, 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 and it was like, oh yeah, you're all going to go in now and get in the beds, aren't you? Because somebody somewhere's probably shared a little bit of a virus around with you. So I'm sort of lost interest in this clapping business. Like, to me, it's a bit of virtue signaling, going, oh, look at me, I'm clapping for them. I'm not actually giving them any money. I'm not actually doing anything else. I'm just going out there going clap, 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 clap. Right, now I'm going out for a long walk with a bunch of and lots of people and having a barbecue on the beach. That's does seem to be the sort of thing. Barry Stevens says B&Q are opening. B&Q, and yet I heard that we're only supposed to go to these things if if you're buying something in an emergency or a need to your house, not that you're bored and you're just going to do a bit of handiwork. Linda Kane says, don't be heavy-handed with the scone mix. I will try. Don't be heavy-handed. Not quite sure what you mean by heavy. What you mean? Mix. I'm trying to learn how to be light and fluffy. Trouble is, when I'm light and fluffy, the flour goes everywhere and I get just covered in it. Mr. O'Connell says KFC is open in Manchester, but for deliveries only. Deliveries to what? To them? What do they get? The empty boxes and the bags and all the crap and the uneaten bits back so that they can sort of mash them up and sell them out as another one. Remember the days when you could take your bottles back? They were the days, isn't it? You could take your bottles back and get tuppence on them. They were good days. Mr. Andrew, Linda Kate, I read that. Andrew Murphy says, I've been to B&Q twice and Home Bargains 3 times in the last week. And a visit to Sainsbury's too. This is the man who went swimming with a bunch of people when the coronavirus was ripe. You are the bravest man in the world, Andrew Murphy. You've been to B. What did you do at B&Q twice? Did you go there and buy something and then get it home and go, doesn't work, it's the wrong size, it's the wrong colour, there's a bit missing, and then have to go back? Is that what happened? Jeff Kellerson's lovely Julia. Ask Kevin to share the picture I sent him. I laughed till my sides hurt. Yeah, we want to know what that picture is. Linda Kane says, I clap, but no one other than my neighbour can see or hear me, and she works at the hospital. What's the point? What is the point? I mean, then it's not as if they're all coming home. If they're working at the hospital, they ain't going to see it. And there's no point crowding round the hospital and going, yay. I don't know. Linda Kane says KFC can stay closed forever as far as she's concerned. Absolutely. I'm with you 100% there. I'm not a fan of these big chain fast food restaurants. I think if you can't cook your own food, you're an idiot. Ed Loud says respect to the profession would go further than a pay rise towards happiness and satisfaction. All my years in education and nursing, never once was promoted to a worthy career. A worthy career. Yes. Agree, Linda. Awful stuff. KFC. Kendrick says KFC food is, wait for the joke, foul. And Emily Champion says all I ever do once a week is queue outside Aldi for 30 minutes. You want to go to Morrison's at 8 o'clock in the morning? No problem. No problem. She's not a nurse, and she does the staff rotes. Yeah, and she's at well, what's the point? I wouldn't bother. I would stay inside in the warm. Don't go out there in the cold and wet and windy. And wasn't it an awful day today? The sleet and snow pouring down. Dreadful. I went out for 5 minutes. I got absolutely drenched. I got a little bit of frostbite. One of my toes is now having to be removed. There's a gnome underneath the desk as we speak with a hammer and chisel bashing away at the little left toe that he could click it off, but I managed to thaw it out. It's blue, absolutely blue, gangrenous it is now. Ernie says here Andy. What did Andy say? I can't see what Andy say. Oh, Andy Kendrick, yes, that's true. And Carl Osborne, hello Carl. He says let me read that again. I've had to keep working since the lockdown started, and I've noticed in the last week, there are more people out now than there was a week ago. And I would say absolutely that is spot on. Because I think people are fed up. And I think privately and subtly, without making too much of a fuss about it, they're just nipping out more times. They're keeping the physical distance from one another because the people are pretty rational mostly, and they don't want to get it because it sounds grim. Who would? And in real life, I've said this many times, mostly if somebody's sneezing or farting or coughing or anything, you tend not to get right close to them anyway because you think, oh, I'll just stand a little bit back. I think most people's distancing is probably fairly normal. We've just taken an extra couple of paces back and we can deal with it. I don't see the problem. I think you're a bit outnumbered on this, Richard. I think it helps with the community spirit, says Linda Kane. Well, let's hope so, although a glass of gin often helps with the old community spirit. Let's see who's ringing in the Vobes on the Vobe Show tonight. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Mark Donny McLeod.
It is indeed, sir.
Yes, how are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, good. You weren't very sure then. You weren't terribly sure.
No, I wasn't. I had to check then.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What can we do for you tonight, sir?
Well, I was just checking out about the clapping,
Oh, good. Yes, tell us.
Who's been giving the NHS the claps and who hasn't?
And what does it matter if they have or they haven't?
Well, this is the thing, see. I've noticed that a couple of weeks ago, everyone else was out.
Yep.
And I've noticed over the last few days, less and less people out. And then you go out and you think, I'm on my own out here.
Yeah.
There's nobody else here.
No. Just the rats.
There's no rats at the minute, but you look up and down, there's nobody there. Oh, there's one bloke over there, right in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And he came out, clapped his hands for about 4 times, and then ran back indoors.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we're all getting fed up with that, aren't we?
I mean, we've done it, and it meant something. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's
the thing. The difference is when people do things of their own accord, of their own volition.
Yes.
It means something. When you're getting told by your government to go and do something,
yes,
it's like saying, well, yeah, we would do that, but because you told us to do it, it doesn't hold the same water, does it?
No, absolutely, and it just makes it. It's like
it all feels a little bit embarrassing, really.
Well, I am with you there. It's a bit like Valentine's Day, that you've got to send your partner, who you love, a card on this one day, and if you don't, it's like, oh, that's awkward, isn't it? Unless you've made some sort of prenuptial agreement that we won't be sending cards on that day because it's a commercial day that's not in our life.
Oh, we're sending them the rest of the year, but not then.
No, not then, exactly. Every other day we get a card.
That's the day off.
Yeah, that's the time we pay our feet up. Now every other sod do it. I do think that's a very true thing, and I think unless somebody says, let's stop now, or we'll do something different, we'll make a collection or something, it will just peter out to the point that it'll look very pathetic.
Yeah, it seems a little, like awkward, embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's also the point that I'm thinking, and it occurred to me earlier this evening, thinking, I know that 3 or 4 of my neighbours around here do actually work for the NHS. They are nurses. And I'm thinking, well, they'll be home right now, gone to bed. So if we're all out going and making a racket.
Yeah.
Won't we wake them up?
Oh, lovely. Wouldn't it be lovely if heads popped out the windows with their nurses' outfits and stuff on and went, would you bloody shut up and keep the noise down? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Yeah,
that's what it needs. It needs Hattie Jakes and the crew from Carry On.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
No, I say, do you mind? All this clapping is all... and Charles Hawtrey in a corner somewhere, absolutely rat-arsed, clapping.
Funny you should mention him. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, say a kid. Yeah. When I was a youngster, just getting on doing a bit in the catering trade.
Yes.
And I've got a few days from college. They sent me to this hotel in London to go and learn the biz, And I'm walking down the street and I'm going towards this place. It's about like 7 o'clock in the morning. And getting out of a taxi is a very, very inebriated Max Wall. Do you remember him?
Oh, Max Wall, yes.
Yeah. But he because that thing he had on his head was like, it's not real. He actually had no hair underneath it.
Yes.
Anyway, so he's got out this car. I thought, is that Max Wall? It looks like Max Wall. And getting out with him was Charles Hawtrey.
Ah.
And who's the other one? Jim Dale.
Jim Dale. Oh, yeah.
And they'd obviously been to some do.
Yes.
Because they're all up in the penguin suit.
Right.
And they're getting out of their car and they're absolutely toasted off their heads. And one of them's trying to get a key in the door.
Yeah. Comedy routine in itself.
Oh, yeah. In the real thing. And I watched them. I was thinking I'm going to be late for work here. And I was watching them trying to get into this door, and it was absolutely brilliant. Like moving each other out of the way. No, you're not doing it right.
They did it all for you, They did it all for you.
No, it's like impromptu.
Yeah.
I managed to get to work, and I've done all this. And I'm, moving about and doing the things that the chef has told us to do and all this business.
Yeah.
And he said, go through the restaurant, take this tray with you, don't drop it. That's $2.5 grand's worth on there. Take it down there to the other end of the restaurant and give it to that Spanish bloke. So, right. So I'm walking across there. I got through, I got into the other side. I got to where the Spanish bloke is. And giving him the tray with all the food, fancy food on and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going back the other way. And as I'm going past the windows of the hotel going towards the other end of the kitchen. I can see Dale going past the window, just about missing the door. You know, he's like bouncing off you're like a bee in a thunderstorm.
Oh,
It was brilliant. But I just thought, I'll share a bit. And it's been a lovely day. We've had nice sunshine. I've managed to water the plants and stuff like that.
have you?
It's been good. And I got an email today.
Oh,
very
blimey.
strange.
An email.
I've been working at.
Yeah.
And they said, I'm ready to come back to work. We're going to have a training day next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we would like everyone to turn up next week, if you wouldn't mind. And we're going to do a training day and tell us everybody what they're going to actually do. And then when we've done all this, then we'll give you a date of your starting back.
There you go. You see, I think it's starting. I think there's a subtle, unofficial unlocking.
I think what they're doing is they're doing it, like you say, subtle, under the carpet, slowly.
Yes, because otherwise, if they said we're going to...
Otherwise, everyone just go mad, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Like back to where we started.
Keeping a lot of people in the dark and thinking, oh, what? There's a lot of people out. I wonder what's going on. But, as you exactly say, if they said, right, under starters' orders... Everyone will just be coming out like blinking moles going, oh, right, we're going back to work. What do we do? I forgot what I do. What's my job? I forgot. I've been on holiday for 6 months. I don't know what to do. What do I do?
The problem is now, if you've booked holidays,
yes,
you see, we're coming up to June and July, you say, I booked my holidays for the company. And what's going to happen now is if they say, no, you're not getting your holidays. You just had 9 weeks off.
Yeah, exactly. So take that as your holiday, mate.
Yeah.
And also,
you're getting paid for half of it.
You're not having holidays next year neither.
No.
That's outrageous.
Right, I better let you get back to the show.
Oh, lad, thanks very much for contribution. Much appreciated.
Taking care.
Aye. Well, if you keep watching, I'll be bringing in latest loaf of bread for you to examination.
Oh, right.
Sound. All right, then, Mark. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Richard.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Toodle pips. There we are, the lovely Mark, Donny McLeod, Charles Hawtrey, who lived in Deal, as Judith said, who was apparently not very well liked in the town for several reasons. He used to take young men back to his, how's your father? So they say, an alcoholic, bless him. And Max Wall. Oh, if only I could do the impression of Max Wall. I can't do his voice. He's a very distinct voice, of course. And Jim Dale. I used to love Jim Dale in the Carry On films. So how about that? That's absolutely splendid. We'll get on to some videos. We've got quite a few videos to get in, actually. So we'll get on to those in a second. But I just want to... Steve Pilfold said... I've noticed that people in social media are getting narked off with the little Hitlers continually telling them what they can and can't do, posting pictures of people clearly miles from anyone, but offending them. Oh my God. Why do people go on social media? Why? I don't understand. Why do people go on social media and get wound up? It's like, to me, it's like, people, it's like everybody's got their own... Whether it be a Instagram or a Twitter or a Facebook or whatever it is, they've got like their rooms. And somebody might go and put in their room like a big lump of turd and it's stinky. And then other people come into their room and go, oh, that lump of turd. Right, I'm taking exception to that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't like that. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, you don't have to go onto that person's page or that person's Twitter feed or whatever it is. You don't have to just go, oh, I don't want to look at that, and walk away. Why do people get so offended when other people put stuff on their time? I mean, I put something on my timeline. Not going to go into it in any great detail, but I put something on my timeline during the election, and it was just like to sort of back somebody who's now disappeared off the face of the earth, and we wonder where he is since being in hospital. But anyway, doesn't matter. And suddenly the world and his brother thinks, oh, I'm going to take exception. I go, but it's my timeline I've put that on. Why are you having a go at me? It's my bit of timeline. It's my bit of internet space. And suddenly everybody's having a go at me. Well, you can bog off. And it's like, well, I don't go on their timeline and go, oh, look, you said that. I'm going to be very outraged about it. Or I'm going to post pictures of that person going out because they're not supposed to go out. Oh, I absolutely agree with you, Mr. Pilfold, for once. We're on the same side. We're on the same platform, Mr. Pilfold. I need a hallelujah chorus. Barry Stevens says, I already appreciate the NHS. I don't need to prove it to anyone. Exactly. I am the same. I had an eye removed. Yes, you don't get much more than that. Well, unless you've had a leg removed and an arm removed or a heart transplant. But you know what I mean. I've had an eye taken out. This one has been removed. This is a false eye. You may not realise it. I can prove it by doing very strange things with it that lots of people... I don't know now if it's the correct way round. Hang on. No, it's the wrong way round. Is it? Hang on, just a second. I've got to put my eye back in. I'm back. Blue-eyed boy, eh? Hazel green, actually. So I've had my eye removed. It's a false eye. I did think about making a video about the story of how and why my eye was taken out and used as ping pong. Bing, pong. But that will come in a different video when it's raining or something. I can't go out. And I appreciate the NHS. I know they do a brilliant job. I know they do, and I know they're working hard. And I don't mind going out one or two occasions to clap, but I think, every day... Someone said on our local Facebook group, says Emily Champion, they can cheer everyone by playing music loudly late at night. Right. Everyone said no, and a nurse quite rightly said that all she wants to do is go to bed in peace. And what about trying to get your kids to sleep? It's bad enough the kids are off holiday, and now, they think they can stay up till God knows whatever time, and you're going, oh, yeah, all right then, watch that. What is that X-rated film you want to watch? The Triple X film Debbie does where? Yeah, watch, anything for a quiet life. And then you're trying to get them to bed, and then there's all these people doing rough music in the street. That's not what you want. Emily Champion says the poster then wrote, I take it that as a no then. Yes, quite rightly so. How marvellous is that? Right, let's see. Eye wonky this evening, Richard, please. Leave your eye wonky. That made me laugh. No, sorry, that's in bad taste. It doesn't matter. Right, I'm off. I said I would if you did that, says Linda Kane. What? You said that you would do what? Right, I'm off. What is she off? Oops, sorry, Barry. Oh, somebody upset. Is she upset because I've wiggled my eye? Or is somebody upset, Linda Kane? Are you still there, Linda? We're going to put a video on. Let's go into the video box, for goodness sake. Let's go in and have a look, see what we've got. We're going to start tonight with the lovely Gabriel of Godstone. I've done it again. He's not in Godstone. He moves around, doesn't he? He's not in Godstone. He's not in Gladstone. He's in... Where is he? Where's that place with the thing that we went to? Glastonbury. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Little voice in the top of my head going, idiot. He's in Glastonbury. But he's not in Glastonbury today. He's in Wells. Yes, Wells.
I'm currently walking along Silver Street, which is an ancient road in Wells that goes to the heart of the city by the Bishop's Palace, which is just up there. We're now approaching the Bishop's Palace. That's the corner of it there. It's surrounded by a large moat. In the distance there you can see the cathedral behind the outer walls, and that's a lovely view. Beautiful house you're looking at now. It's called the Rib, and it was the home of the novelist Elizabeth Rouge in the early part of the 20th century. What a beautiful place to live. Morning, Posty.
Hello, right.
Well, here we are, Bishop's Close. This is beautiful. What can you say? This is absolutely stunning. Built to house the clergy and other people associated with the abbey over there. They had their own entrance, which was through that arch there, up the stairs. The building at the top that you can see to the left of that little tower is their refectory where they used to eat. So literally living on the job. We're now at the end of the road. This building, I believe, was the library.
There we go. The absolutely amazing, 100% fantastic Wells. And as Julia said, we've been there. We did go there when we went to Glastonbury 2 years ago, about this time, and we're only there for about 20 minutes, but we made a video. And our video, not as good as Gabriel's there, is on the Bald Explorer website somewhere. If you put, and on YouTube, of course, if you put in Bald Explorer or Vobes and Wells, it'll come up. Ian Beddoe says it's Richard Suggett's birthday. It can't be his birthday again. He keeps having these birthdays. But if he's out there, happy birthday. Is it really your birthday today, Richard? You kept that bloody quiet. I don't know. What's the matter with you? Should have told somebody. We would have sent you cards and trinkets, and I would have made you some bread. Here we go. Look at this. This is the most recent loaf. Unfortunately, I've had a bit. It was that long. No, I've just had a chunk off the end just to taste what it is. But tis a fine old brick. Still a bit heavy, and I still haven't quite got everything. And it's actually a bit greasy on the outside. But that might be the way I greased the pan. But anyway, there it is. I'm going to put it upside. No, I'm going to leave it the right way around. I'll leave it over there. I've got grease all over my hand. Still learning on the recipe. I mean, it's an improvement. It's sort of... The way I can describe my bread making is that it's a bit like... It looks like cake, but tastes like bread. So the consistency is of cake, but the taste is bread. It's very strange, and it does sort of... It's a cross between bread and cake. But anyway... So there we go. So that was fantastic. Lovely, lovely shots. Lovely place, Wells. Wasn't that amazing? We've been there. We need to go again. Veg Grow Process. Thank you, Richard. Yes, it's my birthday, but it's just another day. Well, it's just another day when people can't come round and give you a nice party and a surprise. I thought you had a birthday about 12 months ago, didn't you? I don't know. What does the matter with you? Jeff Kellison says, happy birthday to the Veggie Man. Claire Leach says, I was down that way a year ago. This year, completely different. Yes, that's it. Leslie Couch says, happy birthday. Everyone's saying happy birthday. I wonder what Dawn thought about her bread. Yes, I did get a message, actually, now you mention it, that Dawn and John, they'd said, whether they meant it, of course, is that they did like the bread. So that was really nice. Tamara Carter. Hello, Tamara Carter. Says Vickers Close is apparently the oldest purely residential street in Europe, with all its original buildings still intact. Construction started in 1348, and all the buildings were finished by 1430. So what, you're telling me it took 2 years to build all that lot? Blimey. Where did they get them? They didn't get them from Bodgett and Scarpa, did they? They must have had pucker builders back then. So there we go. Evening all, says Being There Photography. Evening all to you. Big thank you to Gabriel. We've watched your first video, and the big strong flour has arrived. Woo-hoo-hoo! And not only that, the flour that John and Dawn gave me has been made into this lovely... Oh, right, went up my nose then. Thank you. Lovely chunk of bread cake. It's kind of bread cake. I'm not quite sure why that is. Kevin Ramble says, I think Richard Suggett is the queen that he has more than one birthday. Ah, that'll explain why so young. And Beach Writer says, great bread. Heavy is okay. Now a great soup and chowder with it. What is chowder? Is that a vegetable chowder? Remember, it's homemade. Unlike the fluff air-filled stuff in store, homemade bread is stick-to-your-ribs food. Yes, well, I would like it a bit fluffier. Can you make homemade stuff fluffy like you buy in the... I wouldn't mind it a little bit fluffier. rather than quite compact. Be interested to like in a bakery shop, not in like a supermarket, but when you go into a bakery shop. And I'm a bit confused really, because I thought for years and years people had to knead the dough like this for an hour and a half in a cold back pantry for hours on a stone slab. Slim slomp, dimpity doo. That's what I was looking forward to doing. But somehow I haven't got it. Fish chowder is like a... What is the chowder bit? What is chowder itself? Is that a powder or is it a fish? Oh, here we go. Is it a chowder to a bath? What? Oh, as in chowder. I see. Oops, no, not that's a shower. Chowder is a type of soup. Oh, I see. It is a soup like a broth. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you very much. That's the kind of soups that I make, actually. I like sort of thick, gloopy ones. Mr. Connor says, unusual surnames. I use, apropos of nobody, he says, I knew somebody with a surname of Snowball. Oh, right. Okay. Typically made of fish or crustacean. Oh, God. Crustaceans. That makes me shiver. I think if I had a birthday in lockdown, I would celebrate it later, says Fiona Cooper. Yeah, absolutely. Chowder is like fish or clam or corn, yet milk or cream added to the water. If it's got fish in it, it makes me want to heave. I am not a fish person. We're going to get through some other videos very swiftly. Wendy, lovely Wendy Lowry's been out, and she's inadvertently photographed her husband. It's all right, he's fully dressed.
Hello Richard, hello everyone. I've just come out on a little walk. It's a short way from where I live, and I thought I'd start by showing you all these trees here and lots of bluebells. Yeah, lots and lots of lovely bluebells. Now that building there was built in 1932 as the Mary Stevens maternity home. It's not used as a maternity home anymore. There's a hospice day centre, there's age concern offices and day centre, there's offices for something to do with a blind charity, so it's got many uses now, but I think it's a lovely old building. And then as we come round here, lots more trees. Just heard a woodpecker which was coming from either that group of trees there or up here. It's a pity I couldn't get it on film. It was very loud, so it was very near. And as we come down, there's a building behind the trees which you can't really see, but that's the local hospice. So it's in very nice surroundings. And then as we pan round here, lots of trees, and it's a lovely area to come for a walk. And it's such a beautiful day. So there we are, just surrounded by all these lovely trees. And that was my husband there. He was actually trying to keep out of the video. I've inadvertently put him in it. So anyway, that's it, just a little snapshot of my walk this afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed it, everyone. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye.
Wonderful stuff there, Wendy. Thank you so much for sending it in. Love all those trees. Does seem like the trees are in bloom early at the moment, doesn't it? Maybe it must be all this sun. I mean, we're only in spring, and I've noticed horse chestnuts with the candelabra, fully formed. It does seem that everything is incredibly early. I hope that doesn't mean that we're going to be whistling down to winter much quicker, that winter appears in August or something. Andy Dalglish says, referencing Bodgett and Scarpa, he says he's had professional dealings at work with Wright Hassel Solicitors and Rupert Bear Solicitors. Great names they are, like Wright Hassel. Yeah, I bet they were. Lovely trees, says the lovely Julia, which is fantastic. Looks like a place for a picnic and a book reading on a blanket, says Beach Wright. Ah, no, but the police, I'm afraid, will be coming over with their loud hailers when you're sitting there on your blanket reading your latest, what do they call them? The latest blockbuster in books. There's a sort of term for blockbusters in books. And they'll be going, sit down there, please, will you move along? Thank you. Thanks for the video, Wendy. That was very nice. That was absolutely lovely. There we go. Super duper Nigel Cooper. Yes, so absolutely. The bread is coming along nicely, but I've got to try Linda Kane's scones. Has Linda Kane really gone, or is she just sitting in the back there because I twiddled my eye round? I never heard her say if you do that she's going to go. Now I've upset her. I have to send her a little personal apology. But anyway, global warming has its advantages, says Morton Lewis. Yes, certainly does. It's been absolutely wonderful. We've had such a wet but mild winter with tons of floods, and now there's not a drop of rain to be seen, and no doubt we'll have a hosepipe ban. Do you remember the hosepipe bans? We used to get hosepipe bans. Do we still have hosepipe bans? I don't think we've had a hosepipe ban for about 15 years, have we? Because they could ban them now, but B&Q have just opened up. Otherwise, nobody could get to buy a hosepipe. Dean Cooper says, my birthday's coming up, but no party for me, reaching the halfway marker to 100. Oh, so you're what, 25? Oh, marvellous. Well, that will be good. We'll have a big non-party. We'll mention it in passing. I wonder if Richard Suggett will ring in and tell us what it's like being whatever age he is and how his day has run. The number to call, Mr. Suggett, just in case you don't really know. Hang on, I get back into the show here somehow. There we go. In the dark, call this number. It's 0793 4746 790. Find out how Mr. Suggett is on his birthday. It'd be lovely to hear from him, wouldn't it? At Home with Mindy says, it's your eye. If you want to touch it, you can. Oh, it's your... Sorry, I got the inflection in the wrong place there. It's your eye. If you want to touch it, you can. And she put a big kiss on the end there. That's true. It is my eye. And I wouldn't do it with this eye. My goodness, that would hurt. So it's funny because people get a bit queasy, but it's actually just a bit of acrylic. It's just a piece of acrylic. Here we go. Let's hope that this is Monsieur Le Sug giving us a call. Hello there. Who's calling?
It is Mr. Suggett.
It's Mr. Suggett. Here he is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Richard.
Oh, thank you very much, Richard.
Now, how come you didn't let anybody know? Is this a big class secret? And how come IB knew?
Sorry, say that again?
I said, how come nobody else knew it was your birthday, but IB did?
Well, I kind of not really publicised it's the fact of my birthday because it just feels like another normal day, to be honest.
Oh, for goodness sake. For goodness sake. You only get this day once a year, once a lifetime. We're going to ask an impertinent question now. How many years has sailed underneath that belt of yours?
21.
21. And how about if we add the rest, what would that be?
Oh, 38.
38?
Yes.
Is that all?
That's all, yes.
Go away. 38? It's outrageous.
38.
38? 38.
38.
24. 36, apparently. That's just the measurements. So what does it feel? What does it feel like approaching 40?
Feels the same as it did before. I don't really...
You have no dread. You have no dread of the big 4-0 that a lot of people do.
No. I've got to say, I'm probably doing more with my life now. That's not fair. I mean, I've always done things throughout my life, but I've got more I'm looking forward to doing now than what I had when I was in my 20s. So
right. And you probably got a broader outlook.
Yeah. Definitely got more positive outlook than I did when I was 20. So
has Amanda cooked anything for you?
Yes, she cooked me lemon drizzle cake.
Oh,
yeah.
Lemon drizzle cake. If I wasn't doing the show and there was lockdown, I would
You
be
will get
over there to come and help you eat the lemon drizzle cake.
It is very, very nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're not working, so I can't say to you, could you stick a bit of cake in my box on the porch? Like I did to Dawn and John.
Yeah. No, it's a bit out my way.
It is.
Go to
No,
the
I
shop as
know.
well.
It's too far, and you're not out. So what a shame. But Amanda will have to cook lemon drizzle cake on another occasion when we're all able to go and see each other. And I'd love to sample some of that because Amanda's
very
cooking
nice.
is very good.
She's very good with her cakes. Yes, I'll give her that.
Oh, you'll give her that, will you?
Yeah, I'll give her that one.
All right, love. You're very good with your cakes. All right. Everything else, well, that's under revision. But the cakes, lovely. So tell us, Mr. Veggie, you've been prolific at the moment with your podcasts and, of course, your videos in your allotment and in your back garden. What have you been up to and what things have you got success growing that you started at the beginning of the lockdown?
Oh, my peas. They're really well underway.
Peas?
Peas, yes. At the beginning of the lockdown, I did a video where I was sowing several different types of peas, including some in a piece of guttering.
Right.
And they've grown, and I've planted two of the varieties out in my garden at home.
Wow.
The piece of guttering has got to go down the allotment probably over the weekend, and planted out down there.
Oh, fantastic. So when you say
well.
it's a piece of guttering, is it like, 6 foot length?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 6 foot length of guttering. Just put some compost in that, save the peas.
Yeah.
And the idea is when it comes to planting them out, I can just slide it straight out the gutter into the ground.
Oh, my God. What a clever idea. Just on a slight tilt, and then you can just pull each one out and shove it straight into a hole.
Yeah.
What? Is that your idea?
No, it's a thing I've seen many times, but...
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. I was going to say patent that.
Yeah, no, many people do it. It's just a nice, easy way of getting peas into the ground.
Yeah. Wow. How about that? So, and how high are they when you plant them in the ground? How high do they have to be?
Well, it does more depend on the root system.
Oh, okay.
Because the ones in the guttering are about 2 inches high at the moment.
Right.
But they haven't really grown much
in the
for
roots.
a few days. But I think the roots, there's not enough room for the roots now. They're all getting a bit pot bound.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you need to get them in the ground so they can grow, but they'll be strong enough.
Yeah, they'll be strong enough. Yeah, they look healthy. They look strong, and that's always a good way of telling if a plant looks strong. It generally is strong.
Right. I've got these hollyhocks, and I made a video about it. It seems like years ago now, and they are about an inch, just over an inch, but the leaves are growing bigger. And I thought that from what you said, often plants will grow with 2 leaves, and then they'll fall off, and the real leaves will come through. But it doesn't seem to be happening with the hollyhocks. They seem to have come out with these 2 big leaves. And they're just sort of doing nicely, thank you very much, getting bigger and bigger and broader.
Well, it might still be the seed leaves at the moment that you're seeing. They just haven't put on the proper leaves, the true leaves, just yet.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean they won't. Those seed leaves are still doing the same purpose in photosynthesising the energy.
Right. I mean, I go and I water them every day and I sing to them every morning. I sing to them and I can see them quivering like that, trying to put their leaves over their ears. I don't know if that's what happens. Yeah. This is on a serious question, there are people that sing to their vegetables or play music and things, isn't there? Like farmers do the same to cows or to their lambs and things. Have you heard of that?
I have. I mean, talking to plants makes a lot of sense in my eyes because what you're doing is expelling carbon dioxide from your breath as you're talking to them.
Oh, I see.
And of course, plants take in carbon dioxide.
Yes.
So to me, that makes a lot of sense.
So a little bit of global warming there is quite handy for the plants.
Yeah. Yes. And then they'll produce more oxygen.
Yeah. So, I mean, what about if you go round with some carbonated water and just over them go with the.
I don't think it has the same effect.
Well, that's got carbon dioxide in it.
Carbon dioxide does, but it's in the water bound more than anything.
Oh.
That being said, thinking about it, when you get some cut flowers, they do actually recommend putting it in something like carbonated water to make them last for longer.
There you go. There you go. Oh, well, we've done a bit of science there.
Yes.
Sort of. So what have you got lined up for the next couple of days? What should people be planting and what should they be pulling out of the earth to eat?
Right, asparagus. I'm getting lots of asparagus at the moment.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Which is absolutely delicious, especially the proper fresh stuff. It doesn't last for long, and there's only a short window that we can harvest asparagus.
Is that the one that makes your wee go funny?
Apparently so,
yeah.
I've never noticed it.
No, okay.
Yeah. So that will be coming out of the ground, and is coming out of the ground. At the moment, we're right at the point where it's all busy sowing seeds, and we're not quite ready to get most plants into the ground. But that's going to be 3 weeks away where we are on the south coast.
Right.
Before plants can actually go out. So it's more a case at the moment that we're preparing ourselves for getting the plants into the ground.
And the reason they can't go out is what? Because there's the threat of frost.
Threat of frost, yes. We can get a frost right up until the beginning of May where we are. And really, you want to wait a couple of weeks after that. It's possible we could get them out and not get a frost, of course.
Yes.
But
we're on it's a weird situation now, isn't it? Because we've had all that rain, and then we've had all this sunshine. I mean, it's obscene amounts of sunshine, and every day you think we're going to be paying for this. We are going to be paying. It's suddenly going to come clapping down, and people may have gone, oh, it's lovely. It's summer, isn't it? Let's get everything in the garden. And then the next thing, it'll all be washed down into the road because we'll have 20 inches of rain.
Well, 38 years ago today, it snowed.
38 years ago today? What, when you were born?
Yes, when I was born, yes. Because my mum had to go to the hospital in the snow.
In the snow. Oh, isn't that nice? What a nice image that is. She had to go to have you in the snow, and she was pulled on the back of a sledge.
Yeah.
Ah, bless little old Father Christmas Sugget there then.
Yeah.
As he came out as a little bundle of snowballs.
Yeah. That's right. That's probably why I like the cold so much.
Yeah, there you go. How exciting. What an interesting thing. Well, happy birthday. Enjoy your drizzle cake, you lucky beggar.
I will.
And have a nice rest of the... And thank you on your birthday to come and watch the Vobes show. Of all the things that you could be sitting there to do.
Well, it's the highlight of the day, of course.
That's the right answer. Thank you very much, Richard. Take care.
You take care too. Cheers.
All the best. Bye-bye. There we are.
Bye.
There we are. Lovely Richard Sugget ringing in. Isn't that nice? Happy birthday to him with his lemon drizzle cake, the lucky beggar. Let's have a quick look at the next video. Barry Stevens has been out and about with the wonderful Faden. And if you remember last time, I gave Faden a challenge. I said Faden had to stand on one leg. And hopping mad he was at the idea. Let's see if they've managed to go out and video something. But has Faden picked up the challenge? That's what I want to know.
Hello Richard, Barry and Faden here. Just going to do a video about our local area. Show you some of the buildings, interesting buildings in our local area. First of all, this one is the Anchor Pub. It's the Anchor Pub, which is the village that I live in. It's quite an old village, and here's the street, something of the street, and here's Faden.
Hello everybody, and hello Richard. I've met Richard's challenge.
He's met Richard's challenge, and we'll get back to you when we see some more interesting buildings. Bye bye. Just like to show you this building. I know absolutely nothing about the history. It's probably a good 300-400 years old, and another nice house just to the right of it. This is mostly going to be a video about the different houses around my area. Anyway, get back to you soon. Just like to show you this little house here. A nice little bit of art on the tree, made with wood. See you in a mo. Right, just stopped off a little bit to see the beautiful River Whitewater. We're on a bridge. It's a bit more of the village. We'll come over to this way. The other side. And Faden's got some information for you.
You actually get ingrats nesting and feeding here.
You do. Just over there we see them nesting.
Just over there.
There. See you in a mo. I'd just like to film this building. It's the old chapel. I'll show you these lovely flowers along there. Yeah, it's the old chapel. I wish I knew more about these buildings and their ages and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, get back to you in a moment. Just like to stop and show you this pub, the Fox and Goose, that I used to work at as a chef for a while. I left for reasons I won't go into. Let's just say a rat joined the team. Anyway, I'll get back to you soon. And I'd like to show you this building as well. It's beautiful building. I think it has wisteria. It's called wisteria growing over the front of the building.
I also wanted to tell you guys something. That ivy covered houses are the best houses.
Ivy covered houses are great. So is wisteria. It's very beautiful. Anyway, get back to you momentarily. I'll just get another shot in case the lighting was a bit different in this house. See it from another angle. Bye bye. Just like to show you this, what looks like a Tudor building. This is the entrance to a church, yeah, and the building adjacent to it.
You guys probably remember the church, Greywell Church. It's just around here.
Yeah, just through there, and there's the building. It's a lovely building. Hopefully you can see that.
For our house.
Yeah. Hello Mandy. I'd just like to just seen one of my old neighbours. I used to live in this house. It's a cottage. It's called the Barracks. It's Oliver Cromwell's barracks where he used to keep his horses. I used to live in one of them. It's split into 3 cottages. It has a communal garden. It was built in about 1620 and used to house Oliver Cromwell's horses, and some of his troops used to dig up a lot of their horseshoes in the garden. Anyway, get back to you soon. I'll just show you this one because I know it used to be a pub. I don't know the name of the pub. Sorry, I didn't do my research. I think it was called the Royal Oak, but I may be wrong. Anyway, I just thought you might like to know about that. Just want to show you this building, which is my favourite building. The thatch on this building is amazing.
This building used to be blue as well.
It did. It used to be blue. They must have recently painted it. It's an absolutely stunning building.
It looks like a new coat anyway.
It does. Well, anyway, we're going to go now and leave that video. So,
goodbye, everybody.
And there's him hopping again. He met your challenge, Richard. Anyway, goodbye. Take care. Stop.
There he is, Hopalong Cassidy. Well done, Faden. Fantastic. Yeah, that was brilliant. And all those exquisite properties. Why? I don't know. Everybody else seems to live in the best part of the world with their videos and all the lovely things that they show us on this. Is absolutely amazing. And I'm drooling. There was a fantastic, you started with a crook house with the big black beams that sort of lean together like this to make up a triangle. Absolutely amazing, and those thatched cottages and all that brickwork and barns and houses and all of that. Oh, I can tell you, I was drooling just as much as I was drooling over the lemon drizzle cake that Mr. Suggett is currently shoving into his gob. But Faden, brilliant, top marks for that, Faden. So I think we should do another challenge for the next video. Somewhere in there, Faden, somewhere, I think you've got to stick your fingers in your ears and stick your tongue out at your dad, and we'll see if you can sneak that in when he's not looking. That would be great, and then send it in, and we'll see if we can spot it. Yeah, and you can do it, at a discreet distance or however you like to do it. Fingers in your ears, sticking your tongue out, I think would be brilliant. Well done, Faden. That's fantastic, isn't it? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Poor little guy. He's going to spend the rest of his life spelling his name. Oh, no, he isn't. It's great. We love it. Nice to see Linda Kane has come back. She was slightly put out by me and my eye, and she said something to the effect of, I just read it just now and I've lost it, that when she had something in her eye, my mum used to do that, would come with the corner, you know, the hard corner of a hanky where it's like 3 or 4 bits of the material are all sewn together as hard as bullets, like a little arrow, and would go, come here, you, and sort of drill your eye out before you've had a chance. Yeah, no, I do know what it's like, and I do appreciate people do get a bit queasy when it comes to the old eyeballs. We're going to go and go straight into another video now because I'm wary of the time, and we have got a few. We can always push them over till tomorrow, of course. So let's have a look at... let's go to Adrian and Turbo, and he has gone to one of my favourite and curious types of lock on the canal, and that's the guillotine lock. He'll tell us where it is, because I've momentarily forgotten. Didn't write it down, like a fool I am. And it's interesting because I think this is a replica, so it's not actually in use anymore. Oh, hang on. Oh, that was close. Let's take the call whilst it's ringing, and we'll come to Adrian in a minute. Hello, caller. Hello to you.
Good afternoon. This is Barbara Charles calling you from Philadelphia.
Barbara Charles, hello to you from Philadelphia.
Indeed.
So whereabouts, just remind us where in Philadelphia you are. Well,
actually, I'm right outside of Philadelphia, but it's close enough.
Close enough to the big town. That's where the Liberty Bell is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I've been there. I've stood in front of that Liberty... Is it inside? I can't remember now if it's inside something or you can actually touch it and see the crack. I can't remember.
No, you can't touch it anymore. It's in I guess you would call it a plexiglass.
Right, yeah.
Plexiglass box or something.
Very nice, isn't it, Philadelphia? It's very clean and clean
it's a dump,
cut.
Please.
What?
No, it's a dump.
Oh, is it a dump?
It's a dump. It's a rubbish dump. They call it Philadelphia.
Oh, do they? Well, maybe we just went to the bit where the tourists go and it was all okay.
Yes, that's what you did.
Yeah.
They keep that area nice and litter-free.
Oh, right. And then the rest of the place, it's just sweep the litter down the road to everywhere else.
Well, to Camden, yeah, across the river.
Oh, okay. So now, it's very nice. This is the first time you've called in.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Nice to brighten somebody's day.
And it's nice to have a female voice on because we often get all the blokes, you see.
Oh, I know, and they're so dreary and dull, honestly.
Oh, are they? Blokes, you're so dreary and dull. But don't worry, we've got Barbara Charles. Yes, I'm all yours.
We are. I live alone. Doing this, lockdown thing. And,
yes.
Here we are.
Here we are. How's it been for you in Philadelphia on your own?
I have a very big house.
Well, all Americans have big houses, don't they?
Not as big as mine.
Oh.
My father was antisocial and didn't want to run into any other member of his family. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I have room, and then I have a big piece of property. So I just walk around that, and I nod to my neighbors, and it's just about the same as it normally is. Really, I do a lot of gardening, so that keeps you busy, and reading and things like that. Unfortunately, no blokes at the weekend.
No blokes?
No.
Oh, Barbara Charles. Now, Kevin isn't... I haven't seen Kevin up there, but he's desperate. I mean, he's keen.
I know he is, yes. Well, he'd be perfect for me then.
And he
match
likes...
made in heaven.
He likes walking. He likes walking. He could walk round the property with you non-stop.
He could, but people that walk around my property invariably get put to work.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sure he's very handy, is Kevin as well. Oh, he's there. He is out there. I've just spotted him.
Yeah, you were talking about woodpeckers. Some bloody woodpecker was pecking at my barn yesterday.
Oh, right. Okay.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, that's my wood there, buddy, and you better get your beak out of it.
What, do they do a lot of damage then? Can woodpeckers do damage to barns?
Oh, yes, yes. Right. I told him, I said, sling your hook, and he kind of...
Did he ignore you?
Flew away finally.
Oh, he did?
Well,
I'm just trying to get the measure of you, you see. There's you in this great big country pile. this massive garden with acres and acres of landscape. You know, so I'm picturing you in a Georgian mansion, like something that we have over here, like Petworth House. You know, with about 80.
That would be nice. Yeah.
80.
I definitely would like to upgrade to that.
Would you?
You know, it's more of a farmhouse or country house look.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Do you have a veranda?
I have a long front porch.
Does
Does
yeah.
that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
With a rocking chair.
Oh God, no, I'm not at that stage yet. No, just regular chairs.
Is that a cliche, or is that a real thing that you see them? You know.
Oh no, it's a real thing.
Oh,
especially down on the coast where a lot of people retire, you know, by the sea.
Yes.
Like Bournemouth would be or someplace.
Yes.
And they have their bloody rocking chairs on them, looking at all the people go by in the fancy cars.
Do they have their long pipes and all of that? Hey there, Mary Lou. Have you seen that one down there? I don't know what accent I'm doing.
They have cigarettes and teeth that are stained yellow, so.
Oh. But you're not in that position.
Not yet. I'm still dodging the coffin, you know.
Well, fantastic. Well, that's very good. I'm glad, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching the show.
This is true. I know. You know what? You're in my house 3 times a day.
That's a very odd. That's a strange thing.
It is a very odd thing. 4:30 in the morning. I'm always up by 4:30. Don't even ask why. I used to have horses. Don't tell Julia. And so I would have to get up at 4 and you know, do them up.
What do you mean by do them up? Make them look nice.
You have to muck out their stalls. They poop all night. It's just get another hobby, for God's sake. You have to shovel the poop out.
Yes.
And then
good fertilizer, though.
Transfer it. Well, we have a big poop pile in the back in one of the fields.
Mr. Suggett would be very interested. He is now.
Oh my!
He is now sort of drool. I was drooling over his drizzle cake. He's now drooling over your manure heap.
Yes, it's very well aged too. He would be extremely jealous.
It's just it's in Philadelphia. It's not so easy to get.
He would be more drooling over my garden because it's 2.5 acres big.
Wow. It's
very big, and so it's a lot of work. And I'm out there about 4 hours a day. But you know, it's keeps you going. It keeps you healthy and it doesn't keep you wealthy.
No, I'm sure, because you're constantly having to replace things or buy new bits of kit, I suppose. Do you talk? We were talking about talking to the flowers and talking to plants. Do you talk to your plants?
You know, my mom, who's been dead many, many years, used to encourage me to talk to the flowers. And she was a very gentle, timid person. And she would go, you know, all right, little baby, come on, let's grow. Mommy wants to see you grow. And I would be out there with a bullhorn going, come on, you bastards. Come on. I'm not sitting here all day waiting for you to flower.
Oh, my goodness. We're getting the real Barbara Childs here now, because there was, you know, you're up there on the thing, and I just see you as a name and your comments, and it's all very nice to see you. And now we're hearing the real Barbara Childs there.
A woman of many facets, I can assure you.
Ah, fantastic. That's
life is, you know, looking and learning and being curious about things.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you, I'm going to ask you this question, how did you find the Bald Explorer or the Vobes show?
You know, I don't remember, and it's been about 2 years, I would say, at least 1.5 years.
My God.
It might have been on, when you put YouTube on and then they recommend things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
On the home page, they recommend things, and I was doing some walks, I guess, or looking at some travel things. And this popped up, and I thought, Bald Explorer, So I'll give it a whirl. And then I put you on, and I thought, good Lord, this man needs to be institutionalized. But I stuck with it, hoping that it would get better.
Yeah, and it hasn't.
I'm still here.
Well, that's it. Have you been over to England or UK?
About 40 times, yeah. I usually spend about a month every year in England.
Where do you go?
I go to London and I go to Exmoor,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my favorite places is Holmfirth in the South Pennines.
Oh,
Now,
right.
there's a place to go to. Beautiful, beautiful countryside around Holmfirth.
Holmfirth.
Absolutely.
What in the
Yeah,
South Pennines? What?
H-O.
What-
It's
what
it's about 25 miles. It's in Kirklees. It's about 25 miles northeast of Manchester.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
lovely
Yeah.
countryside all round there.
Very beautiful. If you go by train, you have to go through Huddersfield, which is
Yeah, yeah.
the worst.
You don't want to drive through Huddersfield. I've driven through Huddersfield as well.
Yeah, you have to avoid the knives and the guns, but other than that, but even just to get on a bus and go around, the countryside, get on the local bus, and it's very, very beautiful. And Holmfirth is a lovely town. Lots to do there, wonderful restaurants. I recommend it to everyone.
I wonder if IB's been there. IB is in Haywood, which is a couple of miles north of Manchester, so he probably knows the area.
Oh, probably.
Here he
No
goes. He
doubt.
says,
Because
try Pateley Bridge. It's lovely.
Pateley Bridge. No, I haven't been there. I've been in Jackson Bridge, which is on the edge, and Rockhold, and Home Bridge, which is about 2 miles down the road. There are lovely villages around there.
And they're presumably going over a river, are they? A certain river? Hence
Well,
the name.
that's what they call a river. In the United States, that would be like an open sewer or, a little stream. They call it a river. Okay, it's a river.
Right. Holmfirth is where we have have you heard of Last of the Summer Wine?
I have the whole set. Are you kidding?
Yeah, okay. So that's where it's set, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. They still talk about it there, even though it's been off the air for 10 years, must be now. Lovely show. Lovely people. Mm-hmm.
It's sort of
they still have some touristy.
quintessential English, Northern English type of program, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. The men are timid and the women are fearsome.
But I don't suppose that bothered you.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because you're
I'm always looking for a timid man.
Oh, well, Kevin will be right up your street.
Kevin will be right up my street. I just don't understand why he's not been snapped up by some woman yet.
I know.
Grief. He needs some coaching, I think. He really does.
He certainly does. Well, maybe you could give him some advice. What would be your top tip?
Get out there and sell yourself.
There we are, Kevin, if you're listening. Get out there and sell yourself.
I mean, he's a pleasant-looking chap. He seems to have some intelligence. He has interest. I don't think he smells, does he? It's all right there.
I don't think he smells.
No.
I haven't seen him for a while, and I can't get close to him these days.
No.
But
anyway, we'll check that out. Yeah. But he can't just sit home and think they're going to knock on your door, because they're not.
No.
You got to get out there and sell yourself. Once this is over, walk with other people. Eligible women that
I think
still take nourishment without drooling.
Kevin is saying Holmfirth is where Nora Batty is. I think he's got a soft spot for
yes.
Nora Batty.
Yes, it'd be perfect for him.
Wouldn't that? That would be. Kevin! You're pretty much in here.
And wrinkly stockings.
Absolutely, yeah, there we go.
All right, I'm going to let you go.
Oh, so
and
nice.
I'll call back some other time.
Please do. So lovely to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Good luck with the show, and bye, everybody.
Take care, and thanks again. It's so
Bye-bye.
lovely. Bye-bye. There we go. That was the lovely Barbara Charles. You see, some of these people whose names come up there and you think, oh, they're just fictitious. It's just a bot. But no, it was a real person. And wasn't she fiery, feisty woman in her big, big farmhouse country pile? Not yet in the rocking chair. Not quite there yet. Thank goodness for that. Oh, how lovely. There we are. A little bit of the theme tune there just coming in to whet your appetite. So there we are. How much are you worth, Kevin? How much are you worth? Get out there on the moors. Lovely music. You get two for hang on, what did Josephine said there? Lovely music. You two get on like a house on fire. There we are. How marvellous. And if us Americans could survive this Brexit ranting stage, we're in for the long term. That's true. Yes, there's been a lot of Brexit ranting. But that's all over. How are we doing on the time? 19 minutes past. Okay, so let me just go back into the video box very quickly. Oh, we were going to go to Adrian. That's right. Hang on, Adrian. We were going to go to Adrian and on a guillotine lock.
Hello Richard, it's Adrian at Turbo Stream here again. Thought I'd show you Kings Norton's guillotine lock on this beautiful sunny morning. So we're on the Stratford Canal, we're just down from Kings Norton Junction from the last video. So I thought I'd show you this guillotine lock that's sadly been vandalised, although it was restored in 2012. So this is the winding mechanism for the chain which goes up towards the lock. Pan up slowly, and those are the winding gears, and there's a big pole on the other side, and those are some brick steps. I don't know how original those are. So that's looking back towards Kings Norton Junction, and you can see where the lock gates would have come down. There would have been a canal cottage here. It was basically a toll booth to charge the boats as they came through. And if we look under the tunnel, this bridge is fairly new, and you'll see there's another lock almost identical to this one. Sadly in Birmingham everything gets vandalised. So this sign here says the water level on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal has to be kept 1 inch above that of the Stratford Avon Canal, which is my job to open and close the lock gates and to let the boats through. Canal Lengthsman 1810. And there, on the side of this thing there would have been a canal cottage. Hopefully I can find a picture, I'll stick it on top. Well, with the views of the Kings Norton Junction, thanks for watching Richard, and we'll see you hopefully in the next video. And he's back to the studio.
How about that? Oh, it's so lovely, isn't it? So lovely. Especially all those graffiti artists just putting their nice final touch. Thank you so much, Turbo Stream, for that. Absolutely wonderful. If you're interested in the canals, then do join me tomorrow morning at 9:30 British Summer Time here on the Bald Explorer channel. For we are reading the third chapter of LTC Lionel Rolt's book Narrowboat. Really good book and beautifully well written. So yeah, you should join us for that. But first, Barbara Charles, as Nigel Sadler believes, should really sound a bit like this. Barbara Charles on her ranch in America. Yep, that would be very funny. Thanks for that, Nigel. That was great. Thank you for all the lovely comments, she says. And Nigel, not Texas, not big, 13 acres. Wow. Someone ought to spray paint, the little punks. Oh, yeah, spray the paint on the little punks who spray their stuff, if you can catch them. First of all, you've got to catch them. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Norris says, I agree. There we go. Really, says John Berger. Really? Hey, it's a cliche, and it's probably not going to get the Vobes show shut down because it's that old. Whereas if you put something modern on, I don't know, what would you have played then, John Berger? Dallancy or Dysentery? Yeah, it could have been in the one of the two. So, anybody would like to give us a tinkle on the phone? We've got a couple of videos, but the time is pretty much up. We've got part 2 of Wells. That's a 2-part video. But if anyone would like to call now before we disembark. Philadelphia is not Dallas. I know. I was just reacting from Nigel Sadler, who said that something about South Fork. And and I was, I can't remember what he said. I'm just looking now. Where are you, Mr. Sadler? There we are. I was thinking more Southfork for Barbara Charles. And I thought, let's play the Dallas music. Just for a bit of fun. You can't do anything on this show without people having a go at you. Hello.
Hello.
Is that the lovely Julia?
It might be a Julia. I'm not so sure about the lovely.
It is the lovely Julia. How are you, lovely Julia?
I'm all good. It was fantastic to hear from Barbara Charles, wasn't it?
Wasn't that lovely?
Oh my gosh, I love her accent too, and I'm sure there was at least one other person said so in the chat there.
She is a woman of attitude.
Oh, she's a proper woman. Yes.
And
a real woman.
I don't think Kevin would last 2 minutes.
I don't know. I think he could find his own.
Mind you,
he's like a wallflower.
He would be kept busy, wouldn't he? I mean, I'm sure there'd be in a big rambling place like how she described. There'd be lots of. He could paint from one end to the other, a bit like the Forth Bridge, and there'd be
I don't know how much use he'd be at the moment with his duff back.
Well, that's true. I think he's slowly on the mend.
Yes, sounds like it. Apparently he went for a short, slow shuffle today.
Oh, did he?
Apparently so. I just saw on one of his Facebook status.
There's no stopping him. He's always constantly out shuffling around somewhere.
Who does that remind me of?
Who's somebody else who does? Can't
I can't brain today. Ag.
Somebody is out and about filming things. Who could that possibly be? It's been a good show today.
It's been great. It's been great.
What have you had a good day today? What have you been up to?
I went shopping today.
Oh, whoa! Isn't that like? It's like I went shopping is like the big adventure at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what was it like in the shops?
Do you know what? I mean, whenever I go to Morrison's, I don't have to queue.
No,
So
Morrison's is the non-queuing shop.
Yeah, no, it's not the closest store to me. I could go to the Asda that I would normally go to, but it is a smaller store. And
is that the Asda I passed? The Asda I passed in my video the other day.
It is exactly that one. But the car park is actually at the back, and it's it's about 3-4 meters wide. The side alley thing, but it just that just the thought of trying to go down there and dodge everyone just makes me shudder.
Yes.
No. Like I say, it's a smaller store, and it just makes me nervous. I've had eyes only for Morrison's.
Lucky Morrison's, that's what I say. Fantastic. Yeah. And how's the rest of the family? How's little Joseph?
Joseph is dandy. He's now crawling.
He's crawling.
He is. He's crawling.
My God! We're going to have to get him a little camera so it's mounted on his forehead, and he could be the bald crawl. Well, he's not bald, really, is he? He could be the crawling explorer.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be great. We must find places like, they've got potholes and things like that, or drains, big wide drains that we can't get down. We could send him down there.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, obviously put a string on him or something, or draw a map so he knows how to get home.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We get some very interesting footage, I think.
Yeah. And so he's crawling about. That's really... So how old is he now?
He is... Wait, what month are we in? April.
We're in April. You have to count it on your fingers. He was...
Yeah, no, he is 8 months. I had to double check. I thought he was 8 months, but I just had to double check.
8 months. Gosh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a time when you didn't have him? Now.
It seems like a whole lifetime ago, and yes, it rather is.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I had my children, and within that first year, you start to think, I know there was a time when we didn't have children because I've got photographs of me, but because you're full on, it's so full on that it's almost like I don't know what it was like not to have to think about somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as a mum. I mean, I know you've got Elijah, of course, but he's 9 now, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So you don't have to think about him as much as you would with Joseph, because you presumably can't put Joseph... Now he's crawling. He's like, I'll just go make a cup of tea. Stay over there, Joseph. And next minute he's down the end of the garden or, in Morrison's buying something for Mr. Suggett's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah,
They move about, don't they?
Yeah, he's definitely on a par with the tortoise now. You know, I mean, you can take the tortoise out of his
On a
enclosure.
par with the
Place,
tortoise.
yeah, you can place the Eric the tortoise down on the lawn, and you can sit down and
Okay,
watch
so
him.
we Ian Beddoes has just said that we need a video of the crawl, but I'm going to up that. We need a video. Here's the challenge. We need a
Okay.
video on the lawn, baby and
And the
tortoise
tortoise.
in a race. Or
Yeah.
or even if it's not in a race, but at least baby and tortoise crawl. Obviously, we don't want baby crawling onto the tortoise and squashing it, but the tortoise, I guess, can crawl over the babies unless it's a giant tortoise.
Well, he's not a giant tortoise.
No, he's a lovely tortoise. But that would be hilarious. A little bit of it. So that's a challenge for the next few days.
Yes. Okay.
It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but as and when. I like to set challenge. Faden's got to stick his fingers in his ears and stick his tongue out, and you've got to produce a video. It doesn't matter if it's just a short clip of baby and tortoise crawling.
I'll do my best. Yes, I'll see if I can do that.
We'll love it. We'll love it. Eric and Joseph.
Eric and Joseph in a race.
In a race. That would be super.
Baby and tortoise had a race.
There you go. Oh, that would be so funny.
Amazing.
That would be great.
I might have to just film, just film them until one of them moves.
Yeah, well, that's it. But Elijah's got a GoPro, hasn't he?
He has. That's what I was thinking of using. I've never actually used the GoPro myself.
Now, if you can find if it's got, I don't know what model it's got, but if it's got
I think it's the 7 or something.
Stop frame on it, if it's got time lapse or stop frame, whichever they call it, you could set it up so that, or just set it running and then wait for them to move, and we can just cut the clip out.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Just edit it just for the movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that would be hilarious. And then, of course, you could, if you're using the GoPro, of course, you could put the GoPro, sellotape the GoPro onto the tortoise's back.
Yeah.
And we could get a little bit of tortoise vision, especially if you had a bit of his head poking out. That would be great. And then you could just, hold the camera just behind Joseph's head to get a few seconds of him, and we could edit the two, and we could make it into a terrific video that will go viral.
This sounds slightly complex, but I'll do it.
The worst comes to the worst is we just see Joseph and the tortoise side by side heading towards the camera. Either way, that would be. And Josephine Suter says, "Place your bets."
Money, please.
That's it. So if everyone puts their money on the table, we'll work out who wins and what the odds are and all of that. That would be hilarious. Ask Elijah. He will know how it works. He's younger than all of us, says IB. Exactly. There we go.
Good point.
Fantastic. Oh, yes. The lettuce leaf. There we are. You can bribe them with the lettuce leaves. Oh, this is hilarious.
Maybe strawberries. They both like strawberries. Strawberries for a tortoise is very, very a rare treat, but they do love them.
Do they? Ah, yeah. Because I know you in your garden, you have what do you call them? The natural strawberries, whatever they're called.
Oh, alpine strawberries.
Alpine strawberries, yeah. So presumably he might get those occasionally anyway.
Yes.
If he's a lucky tortoise.
Well, if he gets out of the enclosure and I don't catch him in time, yeah.
Yes. Otherwise you eat them.
Yeah, I do. When they start showing up, I go out every morning and I pick some, I wash them, and I eat them for breakfast.
Ed Loud says tortoise camera is impossible. He hasn't taught us how to use it.
Yup.
Sounds like one of my jokes, that one.
Yeah. So
there we go. Anyway, thank you, Julia, for calling in.
Oh, thank you for letting me. Thank you for picking up.
That's all right.
One two shows I've tried to call in, I've been picked to the post by Ed.
What? Yeah. So presumably, what do you hear? It's engaged.
Yeah, engaged.
Just engaged. And you go, Richard's on the phone to somebody. Who's he on the phone to? Cheeky bugger. What's he up to then? Oh, is he doing his show? Oh, it must be his show. Oh, I suppose I better show willing and show my face. Hello, yes. So busy with your lovely life. Anyway, lovely Julia, thank you so much for calling. It's after past now. I better sort of shuffle off.
Round up the show.
Yes, round up the show. There we go. It's been great. But thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Love you all. Bye. bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. There we go, the lovely Julia loving us all, which is very nice, and preparing the tortoise and the Jojo. That'll be great. I bet what will happen is we'll get all set up and then it'll be loads of rain. Rain. Don't go to Spain. Well, I suppose, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we've got part 2 of Wells from the lovely Gabriel tomorrow to look at. Mike Dixon has got us a little bit of country sounds to take our Europlasticity into the next millennium. And I can't remember if there was a couple of others actually in there that we may or may not have seen. Plus, you can send your videos to the Vobes at richard@vobes.com, but via WeTransfer, information in the description. If you're enjoying or have enjoyed today's show, give me a thumbs up on the YouTube. I'm just looking for the sodding mouse. Where's the sodding mouse? There it is. We are 104 people watching, and only half of you have managed to give us a thumbs up. How many thumbs downs have I got? Probably quite a few. Mike Stevens says, great show. Oh, yes, and Mike Stevens, we got a nice piece of poetry and we got a lovely piece from Grace. But if that's okay, we'll shove those in tomorrow. So we've got three lovely things to look forward to. Plus, whatever else happens, and you and your comments and your phone calls, it will be wonderful. 8 o'clock in the evening, British summertime. But in the morning at 9:30 on the Bold Explorer, second instalment reading of Narrowboat. So join us for that. But there we are. That's it. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful. Take care, one and all. Look after yourselves and have a good evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. From me, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, all. Bloody dropped the eye again. Oh, where is my eye? I had it a second ago. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Oops. As long as it doesn't roll on the floor and I tread on it, that would be awful.